r/AskReddit.
What is a subtle sign that someone is really intelligent?
A response to the post.
They can ask really good questions. Edit. To anyone not understanding what mean, I'm talking about people who ask really good questions, not just any questions, really good ones. I don't know how one would achieve this skill, I know I haven't. Edit 2. Since this comment is getting a lot of attention, I'd like to say, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
A response to this comment.
I worked with a lad who was very like this. He could make any conversation really intriguing and thought-provoking, often causing people to reconsider their perspective and position. He was a HR manager that could diffuse any situation, helping people mend bridges and resolving issues because he could get both parties to compromise and put aside resentment. He had IQ and EQ to go a lot further than the role he was in, but he was happy, and maybe that is another little bit of intelligence.
A response to the post.
When they explain something, they make you feel intelligent.
OP's response to this comment.
I like this one.
A response to the post.
Explaining something complex in simple terms. Knowledge is so vast that they can talk about in the easiest way for someone else to understand.
A response to this comment.
I once was hired by a college as a tutor for other students who were having trouble with courses they found difficult but I had absorbed pretty easily, electronic stuff mostly. The department head who hired me said something along the lines of, pay isn't much, you won't make enough to buy more than a pizza or two a week, but you'll learn stuff about what you teach you never realized you needed to know. You never really grasp a topic until you can explain it clearly to someone else. He was right.
A response to the post.
They spend time thinking before asking a question.
A response to this comment.
Or answering one.
A response to the post.
They aren't afraid to say they don't know the answer to a question.
A response to this comment.
It's weird because I've met some remarkably intelligent people who are insecure and/or socially awkward, like, not being rude, but legitimately may not be neurotypical, and they don't fall under any of the categories that are being described in this thread. Most of these comments seem to be based around people who are intelligent and humble, which, although incredibly admirable, is not necessarily a guaranteed intersection. It seems like the focus here is more on people who are both socially and conceptually intelligent, but there's plenty of very intelligent people who are in one or the other categories. As an example, a fair amount of the really intelligent people I've met rarely ask questions or carry much of a conversation at all. They make mental notations of information they've digested and then go and learn more about the concepts independently, or if someone is struggling to keep up with their concepts, they can get bored and move on. As nice as it is to think that intelligence is backed by social skills, it's frequently not. A primary example is that Stephen Hawking's work was slowed down tremendously when he had to explain concepts to the people he worked, because it frequently would take him longer to adequately explain the concepts than to come up with them. But because his physical limitations, he had to go through the process anyways. I'm not saying that intelligent people are unable to explain concepts or unwilling to ask questions, but if they feel that work could be done more efficiently by the doing independent work or research, they may not say much at all. Their learning patterns and socializing skills don't necessarily dictate pure intelligence. Sometimes it's just a marker for being both intelligent and being able to effectively read others, socially apt. Although this is just my personal experiences, others may have differing ones, and statically speaking, if most folks upvoting feel that how willing someone is to admit lack of understanding or ability to expand on complex concepts simply is a better identifying factor for intelligence, it probably is. I'm guessing I just had anomalistic personal experiences so far. Edit. Wow, this got much larger than I expected. Y'all are awesome and have some rad insights. I can't respond to everyone, but some excellent points were brought up and I wanted to get them into the post. 1. The question said subtle. This is 100% correct. I guess when I was thinking, I just felt that a style of intelligent person I had frequently met wasn't being shown. But someone nodding and researching things later isn't a very subtle cue, so I can see why the responses would be addressing a more vocal intelligent person. 2. Some intelligent people are egotistical. This is something I've found to be accurate, and this is 100% emo and based on experiences taking with friends/colleagues, but a lot of that I think has to do with these folks being picked on/standing out when they were young. Their intellect made them stand out, and so they started using it as an armor for why they didn't fit in. Their words, and sometimes they led to an ego because they lacked self-confidence in other areas, and so they doubled down on feeling proud of their intelligence. This isn't good, but I think we all have our, well, maybe not all, own self-preservation mechanisms that we learned young, and sometimes it takes a while to grow out of them, if ever. Mine jumps between humor being overly logical and dissociating cause feeling shirt bad want feel good. 3. Intelligence manifests very differently from person to person, and trying to discern intellect is very challenging. Some of the smartest yet most socially challenged people I know work with people who understand them at a pretty fundamental level and can be excellent at arbitration between them and folks who get lost in one-on-one conversations. Having intelligent bridge people is also incredibly important because a brilliant STEM engineer might have trouble figuring out how to get funding from a banking institution, but a less conceptually intelligent, more socially apt STEM colleague can make an exceptional mediator to get help finance a joint venture. The cool thing about people is we can work together to shore up each other's weaknesses and make some rad shit. 4. There's some really smart folk in this post, and it was lovely learning from it and chatting with all of you. Thanks.